This little stretch of coastline here really was the inspiration for the brand that kicked off this crazy adventure that is Vuori. There's something just incredibly peaceful about the natural landscape here in Southern California, and I think that drive every morning just reminds me and connects me back to that. I mean, if you think about Southern California, you know, the landscape here, it's this incredible natural playground. On the surface, it might look quite simple. There's this sophistication to these natural systems. And I think that we draw a lot of inspiration and you can see a lot of parallels in the way that we build product. Simplicity in design is very difficult to achieve. That simplicity all revolves around incredible textiles.
One of the most unique things about the design process here is how much time we spend on the material creation process. The building of that fabric is quite extensive. You know, trying to build something that is truly unique, really soft, and really highly technical. Where that takes us is to the best fibers in the world.
Being fabric first is much different than other brands. They start with concept, we start with fabric.
A lot of apparel companies that are merchandise-led will start with a line architecture. They'll have boxes for what products they need to make at what price points. And then from there, the designers will design into it, and from there, they will go source materials that will work. At Vuori, we actually architect the process in reverse. We make sure those fabrics are approved and meet the needs of our customer, and we let those fabrics inform the products that we make and what the prices will be. And that's very unique to our industry, but that inevitably will never lead to compromise.
One of the things we really obsess over is, you know, we're always trying to bring fabric to life in its truest expression. You can have a very simple design, but it's beautiful because that fabric is beautiful. The thing that people will always ask me is, you know, how does Vuori make fabric so soft? It takes really high standards to be soft. It takes a high degree of innovation to be soft.
If a designer brings a product to me, the first question I ask is, what fabric is this made from? You know, I rely on a lot of instincts, and I balance that with their understanding of the science.
Joe is super passionate about textiles, and he's always super curious, which makes my job really fun because who doesn't like to work with elevated fabrications? He's really receptive and he really wants to know the why behind textiles, and elevated fabric is what Vuori stands for. Dream knit, for people who don't know what dream knit is, it's one of our most popular fabric. It's kind of what put us on the map. There's a special dye technique. There's a special yarn type that has a really high filament count. The hand feel is so nice. It's one of the softest fabrics on the market. With Bliss Blend, we were trying to figure out a way to be disruptive in the lens of women's leggings. So from there, we kind of sat down, put our heads together, and really honed in on specialty yarns.
What's great about the original Bliss Blend, it's got this amazing stretch curve, so it really moves with the body and has this light hold. And even the bra has no side seams, so it's all about the stretch and the feel of the fabric on body.
We want to make sure we're offering the softest, most luxurious fabrics in the market, and also making sure that they're functioning.
It starts with just digging through the piles of materials in the material library. Our teams are back there always digging, and it's because fabric is the baseline for design for us.
Vuori is all about feeling. Whether it's the brand and the pursuit of an extraordinary life, why do we surf? Why do we ride mountain bikes? Why do we ski? Why do we run? Why do we do all these things? We're pursuing a feeling. We want people to feel their best in our product. And we can't do that unless the fabric and the textiles, the foundation of our product is exceptional.